Top 10 potions I regret consuming and how they ruined my life. Ah, dear reader, gather close. Ye who yearn for power beyond measure, for charisma to bend the wills of kings and queens, heed my warning. For I, Malthazar the unquestionably wise, stand before you as both sage and cautionary tale. These potions were born of desire to dominate, to charm, to transcend the bounds of mortal limitation. And yet, their lessons were harsh, their consequences eternal. Let us embark upon this perilous journey together, wherein every sip glows as a rune of regret, radiating hard lessons. And let me assure you, the final entry on this list, well, it left scars both seen and unseen. Number 10. The Elixir of Supreme Command. I once believed that a wizard's true strength lay in his ability to command. The Elixir of Supreme Command promised absolute authority over all who heard my voice. To test its potency, I summoned my apprentice, Lila, to my study. "Get me the Grimoire of Shadows," I commanded, expecting to see her dart off eagerly. Instead, she vanished. Entirely. It took 3 days of frantic scrying to locate her. She'd been transported to a remote cave, bewildered but obediently searching for a non-existent book. When I finally retrieved her, she was livid and refused to speak to me for a month. Worse, the potion's effects lingered. Every casual remark became law. When I mumbled, "Take a break," my enchanted broom went on strike, forming a union with the mop. To this day, they refuse to clean without formal negotiations. Number 9. The Draft of Charismatic Brilliance. What wizard wouldn't want to dazzle all who meet them? This potion promised charm unparalleled, wit unmatched. And indeed, it worked. Too well. After a single sip, I attended a village festival to test my newfound magnetism. By nightfall, I had a crowd of admirers following me, serenading me with improvised ballads. Among them was a particularly aggressive goat that headbutted anyone who tried to approach me. It declared itself my guardian and moved into my tower uninvited. The goat's loyalty was matched only by its stubbornness as it chased off delivery owls and chewed through every scroll addressed to me. Worse, my peers grew envious. The Mages' Council banned me from their gatherings, citing excessive smugness, though I suspect they simply disliked my entourage. To this day, the goat remains in my garden, bleating challenges to any who pass. Number 8. The Potion of Eternal Sneeze. I sought to craft a potion that would render me immune to all earthly ailments. A boon for any wizard constantly exposed to moldy tomes and cursed dungeons. The results were unexpected. The potion eradicated every illness, but in its place, it left a single unstoppable affliction, an eternal sneeze. I sneezed during spellcasting, turning a simple levitation charm into a localized hurricane. I sneezed while conjuring breakfast, accidentally summoning a dozen irate chickens. Worst of all, I sneezed during a Mages' Council meeting, causing my enchanted robes to disintegrate on the spot. The Council has yet to forgive me. Number 7. The Brew of Infallible Strategy. I drank this potion to become the ultimate tactician, a genius of unparalleled foresight. My first test? A friendly chess match with a local merchant. I studied the board for hours, calculating every possible move. By the time I made my first move, the merchant had fallen asleep, and the game ended in a draw. Emboldened, I took my strategic prowess to battle, only to find myself paralyzed by possibilities. Should I cast a fireball, summon a storm, negotiate? While I debated, a band of goblins looted my supplies and left me tied to a tree. Worst of all, the potion's effects lingered. Last week, I spent an entire morning devising the optimal toast buttering strategy. The toast won. Number 6. The serum of unstoppable confidence. Confidence is key, or so I thought. This potion made me fearless. To a fault. Flush with bravado, I decided to face a hydra in my bathrobe. 9 heads, huh? Compensating for something? I jested, striking a pose. The hydra responded with 9 simultaneous fire breaths, reducing my robe and dignity to ash. My apprentice, witnessing the debacle, dubbed it the Great Bathrobe Incident, a title that haunts me to this day. Even worse, the serum made me overestimate my abilities in potion making. I attempted to brew an elixir of perfection, which exploded, leaving my eyebrows permanently singed. Confidence, it seems, is no substitute for caution. Number 5. The elixir of perfect timing. Ah, the promise of impeccable timing. I envisioned dramatic entrances and perfectly executed spells. My first test involved delivering the punchline to a joke at a village feast. I waited for the precise moment, and waited, and waited. By the time I spoke, the crowd had moved on to discussing crop rotations. In battle, my timing proved equally disastrous. I launched a fireball at a marauding troll. Just as it stepped aside to sneeze, the fireball hit a nearby tree, which promptly fell on my enchanted mirror. Now, even my reflection sighs in disappointment whenever I pass. Number 4. The draft of universal understanding. To comprehend all languages, to unravel the mysteries of existence. But the potion's effects were overwhelming. I awoke to the whispers of every object in my tower. My cauldron lamented its unfulfilled dreams of becoming a soup pot. The stones of my tower reminisced about their quarry days. Even the soup I brewed for lunch began to muse on its purpose. "Is this all I am?" it asked mournfully. I haven't eaten soup since. Worse, my enchanted furniture developed loud, unrelenting opinions. The broom now critiques my spellcasting form, while the door has started inviting strangers in for philosophical discussions. Silence, I've learned, is a gift. Number 3. The elixir of unrivaled elegance. Grace and poise, they said. For a time, the potion delivered. My every movement was a masterpiece, my every spell a ballet. But elegance demands balance, and the potion punished every misstep. One unfortunate stumble sent me pirouetting into the market square, where I inadvertently disrupted a pie-eating contest. The pies, seeking revenge, flew directly at my face. Worse, rival wizards began challenging me to duels of refinement. I won most, but the toll on my dignity was immense. Now I occasionally pirouette while stirring tea, to the endless amusement of my enchanted kettle. Number 2. The filter of heroic prophecy. A potion to guarantee I'd be the chosen one in every epic tale. The effects were immediate. A band of bards began following me, narrating my every move with swelling crescendos. Unfortunately, the potion didn't specify what kind of hero I'd be. The first prophecy involved me saving a chicken from a muddy ditch. Hardly the stuff of legend. Worse, the bards insisted on embellishing my failures, composing an entire ballad about my pirouette of shame during the pie fiasco. To this day, they refuse to leave, and their songs have become increasingly sarcastic. And finally, number 1. The Potion of Infinite Pockets. This potion, dear reader, was my attempt to transcend mortal limitations by creating limitless storage. At first, it seemed a triumph. My robes could hold cauldrons, spellbooks, even a small goat. Don't ask. But then I noticed things began disappearing. My wand, my spectacles, and horrifyingly, my left boot vanished into the infinite void. Attempts to retrieve them only summoned an endless cascade of socks. The potion's true cost became clear during a duel when I reached into my robes for a spell scroll and pulled out a very confused chicken instead. The chicken was not helpful. Conclusion. And so, let my mistakes be your lessons. Experiment boldly, but beware the allure of potions too potent for this mortal coil. power, charisma, brilliance, they all come at a cost. Now, if you'll excuse me, my furniture is holding another intervention, and I must prepare my counter-arguments. May your alchemical journey be slightly less disastrous.